Operational excellence. This is the most widely used term in current times. Everyone is talking about operational excellence in the operations, in the manufacturing, in testing, in warehousing, in engineering. Whatever you are doing currently in the industry, everyone is talking about operational excellence. So let us understand what is operational excellence. First is the word itself. Operational excellence contains the term operation. So any company, any manufacturing industry, it's an operation industry. Somebody is doing something, somebody is producing something. So then why terminology operational excellence is there? This is my first video on this topic, and I will be making more videos as I gain or understand it more and more. But this is the primary and brief understanding about operational excellence. So any operational excellence activity, one question arises when we should start about acting on operational excellence, and then my answer is it is right from the purchase of the equipment or defining the process itself. So whenever you are purchasing an equipment or defining a process, you must first do a brief, or not a brief but detailed homework, that what are you expecting from the equipment or what are you expecting from the operations. That to what extent you are going in that detail about operation of equipment or your process gives you an immense idea that what sort of equipment you will require or what sort of process you have to design. Once it is done, you select a right supplier, correct sort of equipment, and go for it. Once the equipment is at site, we have to qualify it, and qualification is the second biggest contributing factor to the operational excellence. You define what is the expected out of the equipment, define your protocols accordingly, link it with your routine operations, that how this machine is going to, or what you want from that machine in your routine life, in your routine production. So qualify the equipment to meet that criteria, no more, no less. If you are under qualifying it, then there will be issues during the routine, and if you are doing too much of qualification, then it will get delay in going to the routine operation or routine production. Example, if you are taking a, say for example, if you are taking a washing machine for your containers, then designing stage or defining the equipment will be how many vial sizes or how many container sizes are you having. So your machine should be able to cater or wash all that size range of container. Once you have done, you define what will be your criteria, what will be your acceptance criteria, what will be your routine parameters to wash that container. Basis that you qualify it. Once it is qualified in a range, then same parameters should go to the routine operations. Your routine operator should know that this machine is qualified for this container sizes with these parameters. If he is not aware, and if it is not correctly written in your SOP, then there will be issues, there will be concerns, the container may not be washed properly and your product may get fail in your finished product testing. So this is a very primary and small example about how we should act or work on the operational excellence. It is right from your stage of defining your equipment or your process. Second is the persons who will be acting on the process or who will be operating the equipment should be well trained, should be made aware about all the activities, should know how the machine functions. So what happens, the high cost equipment is purchased it is qualified, but then it is given to operate to a 12th pass or a BA level person who is a non-technical person who don't know engineering. If this sort of thinking is there, then you imagine you purchase a BMW and you hire a driver of a Maruti Suzuki Alto. So he'll not be able to operate or drive the BMW efficiently, and your machine or your equipment will go to breakdown. So it is, second part is the personnel who are involved in the operations, equipment operation or process should be well educated, and the education means education to meet the requirement to operate the machine. We don't want a PhD to operate the machine, but whatever the necessary engineering qualification, whatever necessary scientific qualification required to operate the machine, the person should have that knowledge. If the manager is highly educated and trained, but he is not going to operate the machine, the operator is going to operate the machine, and we should keep in mind that whatever knowledge is there at senior level, the same knowledge should be percolated to the doer, to the operator or to the supervisor who is involved in day-to-day operation. By that way, you will eliminate problems related to the malfunction of the machine or deviation of the process. Next important thing about operational excellence is defining the correct procedure. You have taken a correct equipment, you have taken a right person, but if your procedure is not well defined, stepwise, with all the details, all the parameters, then the correct person and the right equipment will not yield the required output, or they will not yield the required performance. So whatever you have thought of should be your qualification, the same should go to your SOP. And while designing the SOP, you have to run a process flow in mind, that what are the steps of the activities which are required right from the starting of the machine, from the loading of the container, what are the alarms, what to do when the alarms is there. This everything should be is in your SOP. If it is not defined, an operator is not smart enough, then he will try to solve it on his own, and this will create a scenario that activity which is being done by the operator is not part of your SOP, and from such activities the term called gap between SOP and practices starts getting. In your procedure, you must define the alarms, what are the critical alarms which are directly impacting the process, what are the moderate alarms for which activity has to be done, and what are the minor alarms which can be neglected or which are not having any impact. Those are just that indication of a machine operations. And who should define the alarm is critical or not? The persons within the company who are having the thorough knowledge of that process should perform a risk assessment and define these are the critical alarms where we have to stop the activity and act. These are the moderate alarms where we can continue with some correction, and these are the minor, just indication alarms which are part of the equipment operation and do not require any further attention. So by this you are creating an SOP which is easy to follow, which defines each and every failure scenario, which is well thought of by the expert of the equipment, and it is easy for the operator and user friendly SOP. You should not create a SOP which is highly complex and difficult to follow. What will happen if you define a highly complex SOP with too many steps, too many checkpoints, too many double checks? Then the person working on the equipment or with the process, what they will do, they will try to bypass the steps. They will consider that this step is overdoing and they will not do it, and this will again create a gap between your process part and your SOP part. And in the industry we know that most of the deviations are coming because of gap between your operation and your practice. And because of this deviation, we have so many observations. So ultimately, when you have not correctly defined your equipment, we have not correctly qualified your equipment, and we have not correctly written a SOP, which is in our hand, then it leads to observations and failures. And failure can be your batch failure, failure can be in terms of a critical observation from the regulatory authority, and failure can be your loss of money, and ultimately it will not helping anybody in the working in the company. So this is my first video about operational excellence, and whatever I thought I have expressed, hope it is helpful to you. And whenever new thoughts are coming, I will be making more videos with more detail about other activities which can contribute to the operational excellence within the company. Stay in touch, take care, and thank you for watching my video.